Hi, I'm Advocate Kadavil. Ladies and gentlemen, this year also, Kerala has experienced a lot of havocs and flood-connected problems. There are a lot of casualties also happened in Kerala. The last time in 2024 also, in Kerala, the huge landslide and they killed about 300 people, and every single village has been lost, lives lost, livestock, everything lost. So you may remember 2018, whole of Kerala was underwater because of these frequent incidents. Probably many of the Keralites are really in a panic situations, and many of the youngsters are leaving this state as well as this country. So I consider why so highly literate state like Kerala, and we are thinking in the standard of Europe. But why don't Kerala think in the standard of Europeans? Just understand that if you go to any other European countries, you cannot touch a tree, maybe standing on your backyard. You have to get the permission. Without that, you cannot cut it. So this is the situation. You cannot throw a plastic bag on the road. You will be highly penalized for that. That kind of standard they keep. But many Keralites claim that they are standard and boasting with that. What is the standard of Keralites in this way? They don't love the ecosystem. You just understand that, Kerala has got a magnificent Western Ghats. That's about 1,600 long hills, which is going upward from south to north. And actually, with a blessing, about 44 rivers are flowing down through the Kerala and joining the Arabian Sea. So it's actually a blessing. That's why about the 50% of the area is covered by the forest. That's a nice thing. That's why everybody's saying that God's own land, that the land or rivers. It's a beautiful sight. But what happens is that the Keralites, they don't invest in any share market or anything. They invest only in making houses. Average standard of a Keralites construction of houses is that maybe 3,000 and above. I have seen even 10,000 and above constructions even in the villages. And more than that, you don't find people living there. And nobody is staying there, but only because of their ego message, because the ego constructions is happening. They want to show you off that they have the wealth and they have the money. That's a pure sense. And why people think like that? So just understand that Madhav Gadkal and previously Kasturi Renkan and scientist from her sciences, Dr. John Mathan, all the people want Kerala. Don't touch Western Ghats, the highly fragile area. If you make these kinds of manipulations of cutting the hills and making concrete houses, huge hotels and all kinds of things, you will create a lot of problems. You need to face a lot of landslides, and you will face a lot of flash floods, and it will be disastrous to the Kerala. Madhav Gadkal has warned Keralites, but there were a lot of political parties sponsored a revolt against Madhav Gadkal's report. So that's a sense of careless. With political parties always saying that in the motto of the protest, they really want to destroy the environment, and the people are completely, totally alienated from the ecosystem and alienated from biodiversities. And can you find that in any other place? And they're totally plucking all the jackfruit from the village to prevent the elephants coming into the villages. And on the other hand, even in the the forest department is planting eucalyptus and fruitless plants and maybe teak in the forest. So how these forest wild animals are going to live? This is the senseless people, senseless thinking of the Keralites. I'm not generalizing. Maybe 80% of the Keralites are love for environment, but 10% of the rich people are unmindful of their ecosystem, love for the nature, love for the animals. They're destroying everything. Kerala is a place you can find the street dogs are bitterly manhandled and poisoned and killed. You cannot see that any love for these kinds of creatures. They are really totally alienated from the environment. They are thinking of something else. We are all human, the part of the ecosystem center. Our body itself is also an ecosystem, living thousands and thousands of creatures, very small, maybe different things are in our body also. Why do we so much proud of ourselves? So think that we are the part of the universe rather than thinking separately from that. So I think we need to self reflection and more pondering over our attitude, and otherwise Kerala is going to face more and more distractions and natural havocs. And finally, I think one day Kerala will be a place maybe completely destroyed and barren land. Thank you.